As business consultants focusing on digital disruption, we get asked quite a lot, what will happen in this, what will happen with that? And to be honest, we don't really know either. What we did learn, however, is that the best way to predict your future is to create your own. That's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you how to build your own vision in order to create your own future. Over the last years, we've helped dozens and dozens of companies with their digital transformation in order for them to play on the offense instead of the defense. The first important step in this process is to make sure that a company has a shared by all North Star vision. We do this with facilitating workshops together with the executive directors, the top C-level of the company, to make sure that they have a clear vision of what they think will happen the coming 3 to 5 years in their industry and what they need to do as a company in order to avoid digital disruption. We do this by taking a close look at what is happening today in your industry and slicing the elephant into 7 pieces, what we call the 7 metaphors of transformation. The first metaphor is the glass house, which is about the changing relationship with your stakeholders. Think about hyper-transparency being introduced by social media. Think about authenticity, humanization, accountability as a company towards your stakeholders. A great example of a company that embraces the glass house is social media startup Buffer. They publicized their wages and salaries on the internet for everybody to see what everybody is making. Talking about transparency, right? The second metaphor that we see is the package, which symbolizes the changes in the products and the services that we as companies are offering to our customers of today and those of tomorrow. With the changing expectations of these customers, we need to change our products and our services as well. The third metaphor is called the frog, which shows us the challenges in the current value chain. We see vertical integration up and downstream, which forces the middleman out of the equation and creates huge channel conflicts. Number 4 is the metaphor of the gatekeeper, which shows that new, unexpected players are entering that value chain. Think about Amazon entering the healthcare market or Facebook creating their own self-driving car. That's the gatekeeper. The fifth metaphor is the traveler, which is all about the changing location of consumption. The best example, shopping. We shop totally different than a decade ago. We consume media way differently than our parents, and the way we work today is way different than we used to do 10, 20, 30 years ago. So that's the traveler. The participant, which is the 6th metaphor in our 7 metaphors of transformation, is all about technology creating a much bigger value in human interactions, which means that communities with real humans have much more value than they had before. This creates huge opportunities for companies. Think about Facebook, who is monetizing the biggest community alive. Or thinking about the sharing economy, who has never been this big before. And finally, the 7th metaphor is of course the cyborg, which shows us the technological advancements that are happening in any industry. Think about AI, 3D printing, robotics, drones, and so on and so forth. You name it, it's the cyborg. So for all of these 7 metaphors, you and the board of directors should really think what the as-is situation of today is for your company and your desired to-be situation. You need to define clear ambitions for your company in order to create your North Star vision. Once you've stated these around 7 digital ambitions, you continue by picking the 2 most impactful metaphors you think that will disrupt or totally change your industry within the next 3 to 5 years. One side note, you can't choose the glass house or the cyborg. Hyper-transparency and technology are both impacting any industry, and it wouldn't set you apart from the others. So make sure you choose 2 of the 5 remaining metaphors to build your future scenarios. You want to create 3 different scenarios. The first 2 are the scenarios where one or the other metaphor are occurring, but the other one is not. And the third scenario is the hyper-disruptive scenario. For example, in the consulting industry, we could pick the package and the gatekeeper. So our future scenario, hyper-disruptive one, would be like, we wake up in 2022, we live in a world where classical consulting is being disrupted by automated dashboards and even fueled by gatekeepers like LinkedIn, who have entered the consulting market with their own specialized agencies and are helping the board of directors, fueled by their endless databases that they have. See, it's not that difficult. The next thing you want to do together with the boardroom is to figure out what the most likely future for your company and industry will be, and what the most likable future for your company and industry will be for the next 3 to 5 years. Ideally, both routes are the same, but in practice, it won't be that way. So what you want to do is to look at your 7 ambitions that you stated earlier and check whether or not they ensure that your likely and your likable future are as close as possible. And if they're not close to each other, the ambitions make sure you will survive digital disruption in the most likely future. So you see, this exercise should be done with the highest leaders of your company, to make sure that you are all aligned on the future vision of your company, and to make sure that it's shared by all and committed to by everyone throughout the organization. Only this way your vision will become reality. And remember, the best way to predict the future is to create your own. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated about digital transformation. If you want more info about us, visit www.duvalunionconsulting.com and find out how we future-proof organizations.